should you buy Quantum Break in 2024? Quantum Break was released over 8 years ago now and was developed by the amazing developers at Remedy Entertainment while being published by Microsoft. This is a game I've been wanting to play for a while, and one of my friends actually told me to play it when it first came out, but I just never got around to it. I finally played the game earlier this year, and although the game does have many flaws, there's so much to love here in the relatively short and linear experience you've got in Quantum Break. I really did enjoy my time with the game, and today we'll be discussing whether the game is worth it for you in 2024 by breaking down the story and gameplay of Quantum Break. There will of course be no spoilers throughout this video, and with that, let's get right into it. As this section will not contain any spoilers for the game's narrative, it's going to be quite brief, and I won't really delve into the intricacies of the game's story, and rather just some general thoughts I had surrounding it. The story of this game is, for me personally, by far its greatest aspect, and it's what really had me hooked and engaged throughout my entire playthrough of the game, as I was constantly on edge awaiting what other crazy things could happen in this relatively well written and interesting narrative. The game does not have the greatest story I've seen, but many cutscenes and moments spread out throughout this game are extremely well done, and I enjoyed every cutscene and episode immensely. If you're wondering about what I mean in regards to episodes, this game has a really unique aspect in telling its story that I personally have not seen in any other game I've ever played, and it really accentuated this story from an okay story to a genuinely well written and riveting narrative. The game of course has the usual rendered cutscenes seen in most games today, but the game utilizes actual live action episodes in each chapter of the game that are quite extensive in length and pretty well acted with a proper cast, good scripting, and great set pieces that easily make these particular sequences of the game the most engaging in every way. The actual characters within the game are pretty much modeled after the way their live action actors looks in the episode sequences of the game, so it really flows well together as the characters all match their counterparts. The episodes you get are also impacted by the choices that you make throughout the game, so there actually is some variation in the episodes you get compared to other people depending on your decisions in key moments within the game. The cast here is absolutely stellar in their performance, and the game's narrative is really well paced while still exploring all of the intricacies that players want to see, which for me easily makes this the best component of this game by far. Now getting into the gameplay of Quantum Break, I kind of knew what to expect in terms of gunplay and whatnot, as I'm a big fan of the work of Remedy on the first two Max Payne games, and although I still haven't finished it yet, I have dabbled quite a bit in Control, and I have played the first Alan Wake game as well. One of the best aspects about Remedy as a game developer is their unique twist on the general third-person shooter gameplay that we see in so many games today, that all really just blends together. Max Payne had the elements of slowing down time in order to get the most accurate and deadliest of shots, while a game like Alan Wake had you use light in order to actually defeat enemies in an area of complete darkness. This is what makes the gameplay in these games so riveting, even if they're not in any way inherently complex in mechanics or what you can really do with the systems provided. Quantum Break definitely leans into this gameplay philosophy in a great way, as the gunplay here feels pretty good, although admittedly not as good as other Remedy games I've played, but the differentiating factor here is completely in the time slowing or time altering mechanics. Of course, to avoid spoilers, I'll only be showing combat scenarios pretty early into the game, but your arsenal of time powers will only grow as the game progresses, and it is so satisfying to be able to completely slow down time and take down your enemies while they are completely suspended in the halted flow of time. These moments where time stops, known in the game as time stutters, is what makes the gameplay here really fun, and of course the variety of weapons you get throughout the game as well. But most interestingly, these powers aren't only used within the combat scenarios of the game, but also the game's various puzzles and time-based scenarios. These really aren't complex in any way, and you won't really be struggling much in order to find the solution, but there's still a great way to utilize these time powers in moments that aren't only combat based, and it makes the game really revolve around the time mechanic in a gameplay aspect. Everything in the gameplay component of this game really revolves around the ability of the protagonist to be able to move around in these time stutters where others can't really do so. This can create some truly enjoyable and epic sequences where you'll be able to rewind time in areas that have just been destroyed, or even skip time in some scenarios, which really makes the set pieces in this game something absolutely spectacular. Overall, the gameplay here in Quantum Break, although very simple in nature, is quite interesting and really fun to play with in regards to the time-altering mechanics of the protagonist, and I really did enjoy my time with all of the combat and puzzles throughout my playthrough of Quantum Break. In conclusion, I believe that you should absolutely buy Quantum Break, although not at full price. The game often goes on sale for just $10, and I believe it's also on Xbox Game Pass, so if you're interested in the game, you can play the game through that avenue as well. It's a very well-paced and interesting 8-hour journey, and I honestly miss quality games made by known developers that are not 100-hour long RPGs, and Quantum Break is a great example of games that really shine in this time range in terms of playtime. Anyway, that's all from me for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.